Aatrox. We can exploit his Q to land bubble since he cannot issue movement commands during the cast time, although the key caveat here is that he can cast his E to reposition, so we want to use our bubble in one of two ways. Either we wait for him to cast E and then bubble on Q2 or Q3, or if we can tell he wants to use E, then we can predict how he's going to use it, such as if the wind-up of the Q looks as if it is going to miss otherwise. Aatrox Q can be cast up to 3 times, and there is a small window in which he is able to recast Q, otherwise it goes on cooldown. This means that in the earlier levels, when he does not have enough CDR or points into E, if he uses E on one Q, then he cannot use it on the next Q. So as soon as we see him E on one cast, we get ready to bubble on his next, and throw as soon as we see him do so, in which case he cannot avoid it without flash. In teamfights, he will have enough CDR and levels to be able to dodge if he holds Q until he has E back up. However, he will likely not do this since he has a particular sequence he wants to execute his combo in. And if he doesn't, then we just don't use bubble, and things are okay since he loses DPS and sticking power on his target. The way an Aatrox typically wants to combo is as follows. He will use Q1 on target and follow up with W if it lands, since the knockup means that it won't be dodged. He will then Q2 to hit the chain target so they do not leave the W zone in time, and then Q3 once the chain pulls them back. Usually, he will use E on his Q1 and Q3 to ensure they land, which means that typically we will want to use bubble when we see him Q2, as long as he has not delayed it long enough for his E to be back up. The other method to use bubble against Aatrox is when his Q looks like it is obviously going to miss. He will usually use E to make it land, and so we anticipate where he will want to be and throw bubble there. He's a very combo-oriented champion, so if you can land bubble or just bubble in a way that forces him to not sequence as he would like, you disrupt his ability to teamfight. I hope this helps, and from now on, to avoid procrastination, these videos will be going in alphabetical order and detailing either how we can exploit a particular champion's abilities to land bubble, or proof to show that none of the champion's abilities can be exploited with bubble. Goodbye for now.